few weeks because we are trading on and off with new vloggers. Yay! Welcome to the channel, you guys. So I thought that I would do my first February video out of 2 on Black History Month because that's what February is. And as a book blogger, as well as a vlogger for Interrobang YA, I feel that we've got a pretty big platform to promote multicultural books which do not get the same amount of marketing money or publicity behind them that books by white authors do. And I'm not saying that to be controversial, I'm just saying that because it's a simple fact. And, you know, since it is Black History Month, I have this great opportunity to promote some awesome books by Black authors. So I thought I would tell you guys what I'm reading right now and then recommend 2 books that I think are really great for you to check out that are multicultural. So the first book that I'm reading is Roots by Alex Haley. And I'm just kind of covering up my big, huge 13 to Life bookmark there. So shout out 13 to Life. Roots by Alex Haley is huge. It's not YA, obviously, but it is such an American classic. It's all about Alex Haley's family originating in Africa, you know, going through slavery in the United States, and then to, I think, not exactly present day, but the contemporary time that it was written. But yeah, it just goes through, like, his whole family line, starting out with his, like, ancestor Kunta Kinte in Africa. And, well, that's where I am right now, is in Africa. And it's just so richly written. I can just totally picture it. It's really good. So, yes, if you ever get the chance to read this with a group of friends, I highly recommend it. If only so that you can read something that does have a place in our international history. And I'm sorry for all my stuttering. I'm not going to edit that out, but I stutter sometimes. This is one book that I really want to read, but haven't gotten to yet. It's called After Tupac and Dee Foster, and it's by Jacqueline Woodson. And I really like the music of Tupac. I know you guys are probably like, okay, weirdo. But no, I really do. And this book is all about 3 people who are best friends and inseparable. And then somebody takes Dee away. That's the title character. She disappears out of their lives. And then there's a fatal shooting with Tupac. And it talks about how brief connections can touch you really deeply. And I think these are themes that we can all relate to. Not just people of color, but people in general. And, you know, that's kind of why I read books by non-white authors, to be able to relate more and connect with more humans. And I think that's why maybe we should all be reading multicultural books, just to get that chance to step outside of our regular boxes and, you know, see somebody else's viewpoint for once. I'm sorry, I just keep chattering on and on, but I guess that's what you do in a vlog, is chatter on and on and on. This one is really kicking it old school. Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. And this is going to sound really dumb, but I read all of these books, like this entire series, when I was really young because they were so thick and I kept being attracted to them. And then we had to read Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry for class. And I was like, this is so good. And there's a few other books in this series. Basically, it's about the Logan family growing up. I think it's in Alabama. Anyways, it's down south. And they have a place of their own, and it gives them pride having their own land. And yet, you know, at the same time, people are still racist towards them. And we see how they triumph and overcome. And I think this was a Newbery Award winner. Yeah, it got the Newbery medal. Also, if you look at my copy, it says $2.99, $4.50 Canada. I can't even remember the last time I bought a physical book that cheap, that was new. So, yay, cheap physical books. I don't think it's that much anymore. Another one, Copper Sun by Sharon Draper. This book has not gotten a whole lot of attention in the book blogosphere. It's not super old. It's put out by Simon Pulse. What it is about this girl, Amari. She begins her life in Africa. You know, she has a pretty good life. She comes back one day, you know, after being engaged to the handsomest guy in town. And she sees these slavers have invaded her village and they've murdered her entire family. So, obviously, things get real for Amari. And then she is taken as a slave to America. And we see, well, I'm not going to give away the whole story, but we see Amari resist. We see her strength. We see her make friends. It's a really good book. I highly, highly recommend Copper Sun. You know, not only is the plot great, but the writing is wonderful. It's absolutely recommended. If you were looking for a book, you know, just to read for Black History Month, I'm going to put it out there. You should read Copper Sun because it is really good. It's not terrible. You know, you'll be able to read it in no time. It took me, I think, a day to read because I couldn't put it down. So, and then finally, I started reading Black Boy, White School by Brian F. Walker. And it's basically about this kid, Ant, who is accepted into this private school in Maine. And he's from East Cleveland, and he lives in the hood on the streets. Well, he doesn't live, like, on the streets. He's not homeless, but he lives in the hood, and he's very ghetto, and he describes himself as ghetto in there, and his mom's all like, don't you act ghetto when you move to Maine? So he goes to Maine to boarding school, and he finds himself not exactly fitting in. You know, he tries to hang out with the other Black kids at school, but everybody assumes that he's from New York because he's a person of color, and they're like, oh, you from Brooklyn? And he's like, no, I'm from Cleveland, yo. But that's about as far as I've gotten in this. It only has 5 reviews on Goodreads. So, if you guys are interested in reading this, you definitely should. If you are super, super interested, you can email me. Just go to my website, goodbooksandgoodwine.com, click Contact Me, and I will send you my copy if you would be willing to send it on to other people. Because I do think that because this is a book by a person of color, it hasn't exactly gotten the same marketing dollars or attention behind it that a book by a white person has. And, you know, it's not just me saying that to be controversial or crazy. It's me saying that because it's true. So, again, this book has not had a lot of attention yet. It's new. It's by a debut author. I can't highly recommend it because I haven't finished it yet. But I like it so far. It reminds me of a book by Walter Dean Myers. So, if you like Walter Dean Myers, you would probably like Black Boy, White School. So, guys, what are your latest reads by authors of color? Let me know down in the comments.